till we come to see the world under attack. You will go hard and never fail. We don't back down. You can't stop the fire we bring. Defending the world from aliens and things. It's the Tubular. 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 It's the Tubular to attack. We go hard. 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 Defending the world from we go hard.
Come on, sister of mine, you can do this. Just hold on for just a little longer. Savitiri, how are her vitals?
Kira's pulse and oxygen levels are stable. Brain activity remains flatline.
I simply cannot fathom that it has come to this. My beloved science has seemingly failed me. I've tried every scientific method I know. How many tests have I run on my dear sister?
Current count is at 229.
And pray tell me, have any of my exhaustive and protracted efforts thus far resulted in any enduring and efficacious outcomes?
0.
Erald gazes longingly at his sister Hera, suspended in the Bacta tank. Her face, peaceful and serene, belies the danger she's in. He reaches out his hand, fingers splayed, and gently presses it against the curved glass surface. The coolness of the container sends a shiver down his spine, but he doesn't flinch. He lingers there for a moment, lost in thought, before closing his eyes in a silent prayer. His brow furrows in concentration, and his lips move soundlessly, as if reciting a mantra.
Perchance it is the opportune moment to experiment with unconventional methodologies, Savitiri. Prepare vial S-1993 at once.
A mechanical arm extracts a syringe full of glowing mystical fluid that the drowned Duke conjured and slowly injects it into one of the tubes connected to Hera's tank. The brightly colored fluid is a stark contrast to the green Bacta, but it slowly dissipates.
Savitiri, update on Hera's condition.
Brain activity is increasing. It is faint, but it is constant.
Thank Revere. The potion is working.
Hera's body begins to convulse, and her eyes open wide in terror.
Savitiri, what is happening to my sister?
Heart rate is skyrocketing. Brainwaves are erratic.
Erald rushes to the tank and slams his hand on the emergency stop button, draining the Bacta fluid and opening the hatch. He reaches for Hera's body and finds her skin hot to the touch.
This is highly unexpected and entirely unacceptable. The drowned Duke gave his word that this elixir would bring about a cure. Hera, you cannot abandon me like this. I committed an error in judgment by administering that mystical potion and placing my faith in a sorcerer.
Erald turns to his lab equipment and frantically searches through the complex array of machines and devices. He pulls out a device and quickly connects it to Hera's IV drip. He adjusts the settings, frowning in concentration.
If I can just induce a subatomic level hyperphasic resonance in her cerebral cortex, it could stimulate her neural activity.
Erald is a blur of motion as he searches for yet another device from his workstation. He nods to himself and reaches for a device that looks like a futuristic crown.
Savitiri, load the nanites into the disruptor chamber and amplify the quantum waves to a level 7 frequency modulation. initiate the neuro-scramble sequence.
Erald aims the disruptor at Hera's head and pulls the trigger. A burst of multicolored energy engulfs Hera's body, and she convulses violently.
Heart rate is increasing beyond safe parameters.
Not yet. I am on the verge of a breakthrough.
The Guardians lie motionless in the makeshift medical bay aboard the enduring Enterprise, their bodies battered and bruised from their recent battle. Johnny Dakota slumbers in a chair off to the far side of the room, his head lolling to one side as he dozes. The holographic GAIA flits back and forth between the injured teens, her form flickering as she moves through their prone bodies to check on their vital signs. She pauses every now and then to scan a monitor, her movements fluid and graceful despite the gravity of the situation.
Johnny? Johnny? Johnny?
What? Kids okay?
They're beginning to stir.
The 5 young heroes each slowly begin to move and sit up from their cots.
Did you really have to electrocute us? That was really our only option.
I know I'm usually the one to find the silver lining in most of our hijinks, but your lightning did a number on my aura. I swear I was smelling colors for a moment.
No joke, Scar. You've got to warn us before you go all bug zapper out there. Is anyone else's teeth feeling fuzzy? I think I lost a filling.
I'm really sorry, everybody, but there was no way I was going to let us lose to those creepy shining twins.
If we are to assign culpability, it must fall upon me. I have figured her electrical charge possessed the capacity to impede the DoppelDanger's malleable abilities, and yes, that's the name we're using. It's not up for debate, thereby affording us a momentary respite for recovery.
Why do you sound like me?
The confused teens look between each other, then down at their own hands and bodies.
Why are you in my body?
Jay, what is going on?
I'm over here. I have no idea. I'm a little preoccupied with the disconcerting fact that I've developed an American accent.
I may not be a science whiz, but even I can see we've stumbled into a Freaky Friday situation.
I've always been partial to vice versa.
As much as a young Johnny was smitten with Miss Jodie Foster, you can't discount the talents of Fred Savage.
I believe to that interrupting whatever the GeoMonster.
DoppelDanger.
Really?
What? Jay came up with a dope name. We should use it.
DoppelDanger's powers seem to be simple mimicry, but that potion they took augmented it to the nth degree.
That makes sense. They seemed a little surprised when the tentacles leapt out of their chests. It was as if it had never happened before.
Do we think the Duke had something to do with this? They're the only other one other than Ha-Nuel that can do magic.
I don't really do magic in the spells and potions sense.
I really don't care too much about how it happened. I really want us to focus on the getting back to our regular bodies part. I'm supposed to be watching Carter tonight because my mum is taking a swing shift.
That's not really a problem.
Your tone is definitely setting us up for unpleasant news.
You've all been unconscious for about 14 hours.
What?
My dads are going to lose their minds. I've never broken curfew in my entire life.
No need to sweat. Twigster and I took care of all parental concerns.
What did you do?
I called your parents as each of you and informed them that you were going to be spending the night at another's house.
There's no way my mum could change our schedule. You watch Carter.
The Seaman and I bonded over Monopoly, the evils of capitalism.
How did you fake our voices?
I have a recording of everything you've ever said since putting on the conduit. It wasn't too difficult to recreate your voices.
Wait. You've recorded everything we've said since those little orbs showed up? Benny and I have had some really intimate conversations. This is such an invasion of privacy.
Scar, I understand you're upset, but hearing Ha-Nuel talk about intimate conversations with me is really off-putting. Not like that. You're a good-looking dude, just not my type. And I want to keep my Scar thoughts separate from you as much as possible.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt this moral quandary, but if it's been 14 hours... GAIA, are you telling us it's Saturday morning?
Oh, crap.
Oh, shit.
I've got a debate in an hour. I've been preparing for it for weeks. We're one win away from state finals.
My charity fashion show. We're supposed to finalize design choices today. Those good-natured but fashion-impaired girls are going to go with another unicorn theme if I'm not there.
I've missed so many practices for Guardian business that I think Coach is out of patience. He's gonna bench me for sure.
Everybody calm down. GAIA and Jay, is there any chance we can reverse this in the next 30 minutes?
In 30 minutes, I might have an idea of what to start working on, but there's no way I could even start to formulate a solution.
There is some Praetorian Guard research on brain mapping, but nothing on personality exchanges.
We're just gonna have to do each other's work today.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Dudes and dudettes, you've totally scored an epic chance to actually swim a mile in each other's wetsuits. Whether you totally rip it or bail, that's not the gnarly point.
Johnny's right. As much as I'm dreading going to Benny's football practice, I can't help but acknowledge that statistically it makes sense for me to try. Us not even trying to accomplish these goals gets us a 0% chance for success. Whereas if we at least try, there's still a shot.
The hell with it. Count me in. If Jay is willing to get pounded at football practice, I can look stupid for debate.
Fine, I'm in. But if I ruin this fashion show thing, and it results in an animal shelter closing or an orphanage being foreclosed on, I will never forgive you guys.
Relax. It's just funds to refurbish the duck pond.
Great. The fate of baby ducklings is in my hands.
Okay. Cliff notes on what your thing is, and then we head out and hope for the best. GAIA and Johnny, you two start brainstorming how we fix this.
With a swift and purposeful gait, Jay and Benny retreat towards one of the unoccupied quarters of the ship, their forms silhouetted against the flickering glow of the overhead lights. Meanwhile, Ha-Nuel, Scarlett, and Gwen make their way to another area, their footsteps echoing off the metallic floors as they navigate the labyrinthine vessel.
Okay, so what am I going to be debating?
Nothing too complicated, just the ethical ramifications of artificial intelligence.
How much do you think you can teach me in the next 15 minutes?
If you pay very close attention and stay very, very quiet, I can teach you how to spell it.
I don't think that's the best use of our time. I'm going to apologize in advance for making you look stupid.
You're not stupid, Benny. You can learn countless plays, decipher defenses, and make split-second decisions. You're bloody brilliant in your own way.
None of that is going to help me in a debate.
The key to a debate is confidence. If you sound sure of what you're saying, you've won half the battle.
Great, can we get them to change the debate to something I know?
That's it! Just talk about what you know. This debate is about whether we need to change the rules of how we look at intelligence. It's like football and the forwards pass.
Seriously? I can talk about that for hours. Now, how do we save you and my body from being beaten to a pulp at practice?
Maybe I'll get lucky and muscle memory will kick in. Like when you played that quarter against Reefside High with a concussion.
It wasn't that hard. Coach has been running the same plays since before I was born. On autopilot, I could probably play at least a half before I got confused.
Are you saying he hasn't evolved his play selection over the years? tell me he at least uses a random algorithm to stay away from patterns that anyone with a base level of statistics could figure out.
This is Division 3 high school football. You have got to lower your expectations.
Is it safe to say the other coaches are just as lax with their creativity?
I guess. I don't really watch films with Coach.
Films?
Yeah, we have recordings of most of our opponents. Coach uses them to find the players on the other team we need to worry about.
I've got it. I'm going to introduce your coach to the wonderful world of statistical analysis.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I would do.
I'll just say Jay suggested it.
Remember, no words with more than 2 syllables. I can't have you making me sound ridiculous out there.
You do realize that ridiculous is a 4-syllable word, right?
Gretchen and Desdemona? The Bobbsey twins? Are you trying to kill me?
I know they're not the sharpest crayons in the box, but they have good hearts.
And wealthy connections.
That's also true. That's why they're co-chairs for this fundraiser.
Can't we just drop off a note with your instructions? Those two are just a little too saccharine for my taste.
Just tell them that we're going to do a walk in the clouds for the theme. It's simple, classic, and most importantly, cheap. We want as much money to go to the duck pond as possible, and those two would inflate the budget if you don't rein them in.
I guess saying no to a couple of preppy girls isn't the worst way to spend an afternoon. Gwen, I've got a few tenants at the apartment complex that need some service. How handy are you?
I'm no Bob Villa, but I know which end of a hammer to use.
It's mostly dripping faucets or relighting pilot lights, so it shouldn't be too terrible. I've got to warn you, some of those old ladies will chew your ear off if you let them.
Not to throw any extra pressure, but you're representing my dad's fire out there. We Yasaos pride ourselves on customer service.
I'll do my best. Ha-Nuel, all you've got to do is have lunch with my dad. We have a standing date so we can make sure I'm not getting overwhelmed by the double life we live.
That's so sweet. I've always loved hanging with your dad.
Just keep the talk light and stay positive. Oh, and don't forget to complain about Camille.
What did she do?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I always complain about her.
A few quick portals later, and the Guardians find themselves at their tasks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual Debate Championship. Today's topic is the ethical implications of artificial intelligence. Please welcome the Vermilion High School representative, J. Terra, and from Stone Canyon High School, Adam Park.
The audience claps politely as Benny, in Jay's body, awkwardly enters the room, followed by a handsome young Asian man dressed in black.
Well, well, well. The infamous J. Terra. I thought this was going to be a cakewalk, but this might actually be fun.
The representative from Stone Canyon will be arguing for restrictions. The representative from Vermilion High School, against.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must discuss the ethical implications of artificial intelligence. While AI has potential benefits, we must consider the risks and therefore impose restrictions. Unchecked AI could harm society and violate privacy. We must take action to ensure that AI is ethical, responsible, and aligned with our values.
Hi. I'm Jay. And I'm here to talk about artificial intelligence. Because that is obviously something I know about. Just talk about something you know. You see, artificial intelligence is like a football game. Just like in football, there are rules and strategies that must be followed in order to succeed. But sometimes, the most successful teams are the ones who break the rules and take risks. Princeton's V-trick and wedge formations pushed football forward, and it was for the best.
Are we discussing sports or technology? You mentioned pushing forward, but at what cost? We can't just throw caution to the wind and hope for the best. The consequences of artificial intelligence could be disastrous if we don't tread carefully. It's a little bit more important than a simple game.
Pump the brakes? Did I say we should just go nuts and hope for the best? There's a time to be careful and a time to be bold. AI is like the spread offence. Most people don't understand it at first, but in time, they can't live without it. We need to have the courage to take risks and explore the possibilities.
Possibilities are one thing, but what about the consequences? What if an AI system goes rogue and causes harm? We need to be prepared for those risks.
You've got to risk it to get the biscuit. We need to be smart about it, but we also need to be bold. Being bold is why we watch the NFL and not soccer.
Desdemona sits with an overly peppy and happy teen girl, both dressed very fashionably in bright colors. The pair sits at a table covered in fabric swatches and fashion magazines. Scarlett, in Ha-Nuel's body, sits uncomfortably among them, looking completely out of place. Suddenly, she starts fidgeting, looking down at her perfectly manicured nails.
Is this blush nail polish? How many manicures does he get?
Ha-Nuel, are you, even here right now? You seem more checked out than a library book. What's the deal? Did your brain take a vacay or something?
Oh, I'm just thrilled to be here, surrounded by all this... whatever this is.
Alright, listen up. First things first, we need to talk about the color scheme. My suggestion? Pastels. Think pink, lavender, yellow. We need to bring some serious soft girl vibes to this project. Trust me, it's gonna be fab.
Oh my god, we can get bunnies from the petting zoo and have them hopping on the runway.
You won't believe this, but my uncle is the ultimate butterfly whisperer on the whole West Coast. I'm talking serious butterfly wrangler skills. I bet we could totally score some for the grand finale of the show. It would be, totally iconic. Don't you agree?
Ugh. Can we maybe choose some colors that don't make me want to gouge my eyes out? Can we please just do something with a little edginess for once? I mean, it's a fashion show, not a unicorn parade.
Unicorn parade was the theme 2 years ago?
Excuse me, but are you seriously lost right now? Last meeting, you said that we had to heed the words of the legendary Judy Kuhn and paint with all the colors of the wind. I mean, do I have to remind you of everything we talked about? Get with the program.
Yeah, that does sound like me.
Well, what do you suggest?
How about black? It's the new black, you know.
The girls' eyes dart around the table, communicating their uncertainty with each other through quick glances and raised eyebrows. They're clearly taken aback by Ha-Nuel's atypical, sarcastic comment.
But the theme is supposed to be walk in the clouds. How do we make that edgy?
Oh, but black is so dark and sad.
Exactly. It's unexpected. It'll make the show more memorable.
But how will we incorporate clouds into an all-black color scheme?
Picture this. Storm clouds and strobe lights. And we can even use black roses instead of regular ones. It'll be like a timeless fantasy gothic garden.
You might be onto something, but we need to get creative here. Clouds might seem like a bit of a stretch with an all-black color scheme, but I'm thinking we could use some sheer, billowy fabric to create a wispy, cloud-like effect. And if we add some subtle lighting, we can make it look like our models are walking on the clouds. It'll be, totally dreamy.
I just don't know if our sponsors will like it.
Who cares about sponsors? This is about art, about fashion. This is supposed to be a fashion show, not a boring commercial.
but we need sponsors to raise money for the charity.
Okay. Just hear me out. A graveyard scene as our finale, with the models bobbing and weaving among the tombstones as an instrumental version of Mad World plays.
Oh. Well, that's actually kind of cool.
And we can have the models wear black combat boots instead of heels.
Now you're speaking my language. Welcome to the dark side, ladies.
An exhausted Gwen enters an apartment holding a toolbox. Wearing Scarlett's customary jumpsuit, she is covered in dirt and grime while carrying a determined expression on her face.
Hello? Miss Abernathy? I'm here to fix your faucet. She's probably just shopping or something.
She looks around and spots a leaky faucet. She slowly walks towards it and starts examining it closely.
You're late. Not that I'm surprised.
Gwen turns and sees an elderly woman limping into the room. Leaning heavily on her cane, she disappointingly looks at the young teen handywoman.
You're not going to fix it that way. Let me show you how to do it properly.
Ma'am, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been under a half a dozen sinks in this complex today. I'll be done in a few minutes.
I'm sure you have, but I know a thing or two about doing things the right way. Are you trying to stop the leak or fix a faucet?
Isn't that the same thing? There can't be that many ways to fix a faucet.
There's a million ways to do things wrong, but only one way to do it right.
Okay, let's do it your way.
Over the next hour, Ms. Abernathy guides Gwen through the repair process, offering harsh critiques and pointed advice. As Gwen slides out from under the sink, Ms. Abernathy peers at the work, and a proud smile spreads across her face.
See, I told you it would turn out better if we worked together. Don't worry, dear. Everyone struggles sometimes. The important thing is to listen to someone who knows better and keep trying.
I can see why you live alone.
You sound like my teammates.
Teammates? Oh, hold up. You're Michelle Abernathy? You were on the 64 silver medal team. You were the captain of one of the greatest teams of all time.
That was a lifetime ago. You know, I haven't seen any of my former teammates in years. I was so demanding and harsh with them, I think they all got sick of it.
But you just wanted them to be their best. What's wrong with that?
It's the price you pay for greatness.
You know, I always thought I had to push myself and my teammates to be better. But maybe I need to be more understanding.
That's a good point, dear. It's important to remember that everyone has their own way of doing things. There's a balance to be found between taskmaster and friend. And sometimes, a little kindness can go a long way.
Kindness doesn't usually win championships.
That's how I used to think. I treated every game like the fate of the world hung in the balance. It's just a game, sweetie. There are bigger things than winning.
I'll try to remember that. Thanks for sharing your perspective.
Anytime, dear. It's always nice to pass on a bit of wisdom.
Well, I better get going.
If you ever need any more help with your repairs, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Jay awkwardly tries to recreate Benny's usual gait while trying to adjust to the misaligned shoulder pads. They try to move with an air of confidence as they approach Coach Sampson.
Humo, it's nice to see you could actually be bothered to pull yourself away from your knitting circle and be on time today.
Not a problem, Mr. Coach. Just Coach. He said to...
Did you forget to hydrate again?
It has been quite the unusual day, so my water consumption might be a tad on the low side.
The elderly coach quizzically stares at the young high school quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, chuckleheads, gather up. You guys, you lollygag the ball when on offense. You lollygag your way on defense. You lollygag on and off the sidelines. Do you know what that makes you? Humo, why on God's green earth are you raising your hand?
You asked a question that I am just now realizing was rhetorical. Sorry.
Since Humo wants to crack jokes, let's just add 100 burpees to our warm-ups.
Good job, Nimrod. You actively trying to get the entire team to hate you?
All right, listen up. We've got a big game coming against the Wildcats this Friday, and we need to be on our game. Any questions? Humo, are you raising your hand again?
You're killing me, Benny. Just shut your trap. You know Coach don't like questions.
Actually, Coach, I was thinking maybe we could try something different this time around.
Different plays, huh? You think you know better than me? Who put that nonsense in your head?
Well, I mean, Jay. Actually, Jay and I were just talking about it, and they had some insight of what they said could work really well.
That scrawny kid that lives in the library?
Scrawny is a bit harsh. They're just petite. But yeah, them.
Why would the mega nerd be interested in football? They've never broken a sweat in their life, let alone played a sport.
They might not know football, but they know math.
Ooh, are we gonna throw calculators at our opponents?
Shut it, Reginald. Benny, if you're wasting my time, you're going to eat everybody's burpees.
Sweet. We're gonna see Benny do 1,000,000 burpees.
4,200.
What?
If I did everyone's burpees, it would be 4,200. Coach, the Wildcats defense is known for playing a 4-3 formation, which leaves their corners vulnerable to a quick slant. If we increase play variability by 20%, we can increase productivity by 60%.
And how do they know all this?
Well, they've been studying the game tapes with me and analyzing their strategies. And with a few more tweaks and the introduction of some statistical probability, they think we could really capitalize on these weaknesses and score some major points.
Statistical what now?
Just some math thing that they tried to explain to me that I totally didn't understand.
The boosters have been grumbling about being bored at the games. So maybe this will get them off my back. Alright, you make a good point. We'll give it a shot.
Coach, what about practice?
Did I not just tell you what I needed? I've got a playbook to scour.
Ha-Nuel, in Gwen's body, calmly stands outside the patio of the Hummingbird Lounge and examines her fingernails. The popular cafe is filled to capacity as waiters navigate the packed dining area.
Gwen, I got a table.
We are definitely having a mani-pedi day when all of this is over.
Gwen!
Crap! That's me.
Turning quickly, Ha-Nuel sees Leo Avalon standing next to a table a few yards away. Deftly sliding through the tables, Ha-Nuel slides into an open seat across from his best friend's father.
Hey. Pops.
Pops?
Just trying something new.
I don't hate it. How's the pottery class?
Pottery class? It's been nice. You know me. I love making plates and bowls.
Wait, did we or did we not say that's what we're gonna call you? extracurricular activities.
Did we? Sorry, I'm just a little distracted. It's been a long day.
Are you still upset about the trials? You did your best. There's no shame in coming in 5th.
5th? I came in 5th? That's so unlike me.
Are you okay? I know it really bothered you that you underperformed, but denial is rarely a good sign. You've been spending as much time as possible in the pool, and I think you'll do better on the next trial.
That's why she's been so on edge. She's burning the candle from both ends.
What's that?
I've just been a little on edge lately, and I got into an argument with Ha-Nuel. You know how he is.
Are you two arguing again? You know his heart is in the right place. For just being 17, he's the most level-headed person I've ever met. Mark and Sam raised that boy right. If he's concerned about something, you should listen.
I didn't know you thought so highly of me, him, Ha-Nuel.
Honestly, knowing that he's in that pottery class with you is one of the small comforts I have.
A waiter arrives carrying 2 plates of food. One is a simple egg and toast dish, while the other is loaded with pancakes, sausage, ham, bacon, and eggs. Ha-Nuel is taken aback when the massive plate of food is put in front of him.
Here you go. 1 egg white on whole grain toast for the gentleman, and our Paul Bunyan special for the lady. Enjoy.
I hope you don't mind, but I ordered your usual.
I, do love my processed meats. Dad, can I ask you a question?
You just did. Sorry, one of the perks of being a dad is you get to make dad jokes. What's up?
Do you regret knowing about my pottery class?
The elder Avalon pushes his plate forward slightly and crosses his arms. The jovial expression on his face morphs into one of seriousness.
You want the truth?
Always.
Every curse has a blessing, and every blessing has a curse. Do I live every day afraid that you won't come home? Yes. Am I unbelievably proud of what you're doing? Yes. Would I rather not know? Maybe. But knowing that I can ease your burden just a little bit, I'll take all the stress that comes with it. It's what parents do.
Do you think Mark and Sam would feel the same? They're good parents. Don't they deserve to know that their son is risking his life on a regular basis?
Honey, you cannot tell Ha-Nuel's parents for him. That is not your place.
I would never. But not telling the truth is affecting Ha-Nuel's aura in a very negative way. It's weighing on him that the negative energy could sabotage him eventually.
That's for him to decide. His dads are good parents. They'll love and respect whatever he wants to do, but he needs to consider the toll he'll be putting them under. It's basically the same reason you haven't told Mom. It would consume her.
Yeah, it would probably be the same for them. They're not soft or anything, but it would be a huge burden for them to carry. It wouldn't be fair to them.
I'll let you in on a little secret. Life isn't fair. It was never designed to be that way. We all try and do what's right and pray it all works out in the end. Tell Ha-Nuel that his dads are going to love him regardless. And if he needs a parental figure to talk to, I'm always available.
I'll let him know. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
Erald adjusts the disruptor's settings again, and the energy beam shifts to a deeper shade of purple. The nanites swarm over Hera's body, repairing damaged neural pathways and attempt to stimulate new ones.
Savatiri, update on her vitals.
Vitals have stabilized. Gubo reserves depleted.
Oh. No, what is happening?
Nanites are being rejected by the subject. Her system is being overloaded.
Erald seizes an injector and plunges it deep into Hera's arm, the metallic device hissing as it pierces her skin. Swiftly, he fills the injector with a potent blend of biogenic enzymes, a complex mixture of life-giving agents that holds the promise of renewal. With deft movements, Erald initiates the injection process, flooding Hera's veins with a revitalizing elixir.
Come now, dear sister, you mustn't succumb so easily. Your body and mind must fight with all their might against this affliction.
Safety parameters have been surpassed. Restorative measures should be ended. Palliative treatment should be administered.
Override Krichu Totala Auxiliary. Initiate anisogenic hemanogeopoiesis.
Warning.
No more infernal warnings. Override Sijati Auxiliary Bodai Erald Nuclea.
All safety parameters and restrictions have been suspended.
Initiate a comprehensive spectrum scan of Hera at once. I must ascertain the extent of the Duke's malfeasance upon my dear sister's person.
The weary Velociraptor scientist recoils, his strength faltering as he gazes upon his sister's lifeless body, ensnared by a maze of twisted wires and tubes. Hera is enveloped in an incomprehensible labyrinth of probes, an intricate network of machinery that sustains her fading existence. A heavy sorrow weighs upon the scientist as he takes in the scene before him, overwhelmed by the sight of his beloved kin trapped in this metallic web of despair.
Dear Sabatiri, I feel that my actions may be doing more harm than good to my beloved sister. Am I in pursuit of a cure? Simply stroking my own ego at her expense?
Subject Terra is resisting all known recuperative treatments.
Whatever the Duke has done has stymied all my efforts. He has tainted the very essence of her being. That pompous aristocrat thinks his magic will win the day. He forgets who he meddles with. I am Erald, spawn of Drek and Yulgain, first scientist of the royal court. There is nothing scientifical or mystical that I cannot bend to my will. Savatiri. Activate the source matrix.
The source matrix has been categorized as untested and unstable. Are you sure you want to proceed?
Savatiri, time is of the essence. I have no other recourse. Hera's condition is deteriorating rapidly, and I must act swiftly.
Two metallic arms thrust forward, brandishing a futuristic matrix. The devices sport a mechanical array of multi-pointed edges, resembling a star in full bloom. Upon making contact with Hera's flesh, the contraption adheres seamlessly, its nano needles injecting into her skin. The machine springs to life, its mechanical hum resonating throughout the room as Erald secures a similar device onto his scaly chest.
Savatiri, I implore you to play the file entitled Sister for Hera once she regains consciousness. And with that, I bid you adieu. Your assistance has been more than adequate, and for that I am grateful.
Goodbye, Creator.
The machine roars to life, pulsating with energy, and a brilliant blaze of light engulfs the room. Erald fights to maintain his footing as his very essence is siphoned away and channeled into Hera. The transfer rages on, and Erald's once vibrant gaze turns to glass as his body begins to dissolve into nothingness. With each passing moment, Hera's ragged breaths grow calmer and her eyelids flicker open, revealing a newfound strength within her.
Brother.
The weakened ankylosaur sits up and can only watch as her brother's empty lab coat falls to the ground.
What happened? Where's Erald?
Deep within the sprawling caverns below Dragon Cove sits Tirich Mir, the formidable Dracotar, perched upon a rough-hewn throne. Its massive form bears the scars of a fierce battle with Pan Vahan, a testament to the reptilian's unyielding strength and unrelenting tenacity. The wounds, some still fresh and others in varying stages of healing, each one a reminder of the brutal conflict that raged above the city.
As the pitiful Exeter returned, dragging his tail between his legs, with news of yet another failure. I eagerly await the sound of your pitiful excuses and feeble attempts at appeasement. Do not disappoint me again, Duke. For the consequences of failure are severe.
This latest endeavor, while not without its flaws, is hardly a failure. I would concede that it falls short of a complete success. But it has nevertheless positioned us to strengthen our cause and vanquish our foes. You may rest assured that I shall not falter in my efforts to bring about our ultimate victory.
For your sake, that it better be true.
Exeter found them hiding in a cavern, licking their wounds. They weren't open to coming, but Exeter was able to convince them.
Stepping out of the shadows are Kehaz and Zahak. The usually amorphous figures now resemble the Guardians, but instead of a single color, their helmets, gauntlets, and boots are all different colors.
If by convince you mean threaten us with dismemberment, then you would be correct.
These two are key to your plan. My faith in you is waning.
These two are but vessels for our ultimate triumph. With their ability to siphon supernatural power, they would have successfully drained the Guardians of their strength were it not for the interference of those meddling children. Nonetheless, we shall persevere and emerge victorious in the end.
Your grandiose aspirations are of no interest to me. Take these simple-minded peasants and drain them of the wild magic they've absorbed. We shall use it to mend my wounds. I have unfinished business with that treacherous, blue-skinned traitor. They shall come to regret the day they dared to cross me.
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, we'd prefer not being run out and discarded like garbage.
You will do as Tirich Mir wishes. It is not your place to question the Dark Lords.
As always, your strategic foresight is sorely lacking. Depleting their energy reserves at this juncture would be a grave mistake, robbing Tirich Mir of a potential more magnificent future. By utilizing Erald's device to enhance their size and strength, we can compel the Guardians to unleash their formidable mechanical beast, and by siphoning its power, we can render not just the heroes, but the entire planet utterly defenseless.
'Tis before, and they hold little weight. Know this. If these two fail to provide me with the energy I require, I will not hesitate to extract it from you. Except remember that I am not to be trifled with.
I am willing to sacrifice my very life force should this plan falter. Exeter, take them to a densely populated locale and unleash chaos. Once the Guardians respond, activate the device and permit our allies to absorb the unrestrained magical energy they possess.
So, you convinced the Powerpuff Twins to go with the more gothic theme for the fashion show?
I honestly didn't think they would go for it. I'm really sorry.
Don't apologize. I'm upset that I didn't come up with the idea. You realize that you have to help with the show.
No I don't.
How else can we guarantee your vision comes to life?
Jay, are you any closer to reversing this?
The issue isn't coming up with an idea, it's isolating one that won't destroy our connection to the source.
Didn't you just connect some doohickey that made that impossible?
Precisely. As a result of my excessive preparation, any attempt at a partial solution would amount to an exercise in futility.
Guardians, it looks like Haxatar and the GeoMonster.
DoppelDanger.
Regardless of its name, it has resurfaced and is destroying downtown with Haxatar.
As the teen heroes step out of their portal, their eyes widen in disbelief at the chaotic scene that unfolds before them. There, amidst the towering skyscrapers of the downtown area, the hulking Triceraton warrior Haxatar Obliterus rampages through the streets, leaving destruction in his wake. Alongside him stands two formidable guardians, their multicolored armor gleaming in the bright sunlight. One carries an amalgamated bladed warhammer, its sharp edges glinting dangerously as it whirls through the air. The other holds a pair of dual bucklers, their metallic surfaces reflecting the carnage around them.
What the copyright infringement is going on here?
Can't say I hate the bladed warhammer. That is pretty metal.
This is truly intriguing. It appears that DoppelDanger is not only assimilating source energy, but also emulating our capabilities. I am curious as to how they've acquired knowledge of our preferred weaponry.
Maybe it's in bringing the source energy like Gould in a video game.
Jay, is there anything we can do to stop it from taking more from us?
Electricity did the trick last time.
I'd prefer something that didn't knock us all out, Scarlett.
Hey, I apologize for that.
While you all try to figure out how to take down the monster, I'm gonna put down the big dino guy by hitting him in the face till he says uncle.
Alright, let's take him down. And if we have to, we'll bug zap the crap out of the twins. Guardians, engage!
Druidic Defender!
Storm Sentinel!
Nova Knight!
Fire Paladin!
Hydro Hoplite!
What the hell? Where's my armor?
I was worried about this. Benny, at present, you're unable to assume the mantle of Pyre Paladin. The conduits are intricately programmed to correspond with our unique genetic material.
But the source is tied to our individual aura. The armor and weapons aren't worth anything without the energy to power them. We're going to have to mix and match.
Alright, take two. Guardians, engage!
Druidic Paladin!
Storm Hoplite!
Nova Sentinel!
Fire Defender!
Hydro Knight!
The familiar glowing colored liquid pours from their conduits, solidifying into complete bodysuits. The young heroes are surprised as an onyx black wave of inky darkness snakes its way around Gwen, while Ha-Nuel is lifted up by a cyclone of neon blue energy. Benny is encircled by a furious inferno of green flames, which lick and flicker hungrily at his body. Jay is ensnared by crimson twisting vines, their thorns coiling at their clothes and skin, and Scarlett is surrounded by a cracking aura of vibrant pink energy. The liquid metals solidify, leaving the teams in the armor associated with their body, but in their individual color.
This feels wrong and right at the same time.
I think that's called Schadenfreude.
Gesundheit.
Let's blitzkrieg Tweedledee and Tweedledum and end this quickly.
I know flattery. With a serious form of flattery. But this is just a little too far!
Knight, you need to be ready to zap the bejesus out of them if they get all tentacly.
Locked and loaded. I'm curious to see what chain lightning looks like in pink.
You pesky little guardians have absolutely no chance, chum! Against the two of us!
Stand still, you annoying thing. Haxatan will split you in two.
How about you? Try getting faster.
The air crackles with intensity as the heroes and villains engage in a ferocious battle. Their movements fluid and lightning fast as they dodge and weave around each other. As the battle rages on, the surroundings bear the marks of the epic struggle. Cracks form in the ground beneath their feet, and the air echoes with the sound of thunderous blows. The sky darkens, as though the very elements themselves are being drawn into the fray.
Haxatar, I do believe it is time to end this minor squabble and elevate this conflict to what shall surely be the end of the Guardians!
The Triceraton warrior flings a cylindrical device to the enthusiastic twins. With excitement, they grab hold of each end and activate it. The malleable forms converge, expanding at an exponential rate until a colossal two-headed replica of the Guardians towers before them.
Frack!
Is that what I think it was?
That's Erald Zemian.
For the non-technologically inclined, what does that mean?
It's the mechanism that Erald would use to make his monsters grow to kaiju size.
Wait, I thought the dino dude was on our side.
Oh, that's a problem to solve after this fight. It's Titan time!
The rock that supports!
Molten magma bursts forth from the summit of the towering peak as the rock that supports emerges. The colossal red turtle stride scorches the earth, carving searing craters with every step.
The light in the darkness!
From the icy egg emerges the light in the darkness, causing the frozen mass to fracture. The sapphire rhino beetle titan scampers towards its protector, its iridescent exoskeleton crackling with ice.
The wings of creation!
An impenetrable shroud of mist creeps over the waters of Dragon Cove Bay. The clouds gather and coalesce, heralding the arrival of the wings of creation. Torrents of rain cascade from the alicorn's wings as it dashes above the tumultuous waves.
The cry that ignites justice!
The Dragon Cove Mountains rumble and quake as a colossal cave mouth yawns open, unveiling the cry that ignites justice. The verdant phoenix's deliberate wing beats resound across the land before it takes to the sky, leaving behind a trail of smoldering rocks.
The claws that rend life!
Electricity rips through an open field, branding the earth with a burnt and scarred ring. Thunder roars as the sky lights up with successive bolts. Suddenly, the ground ruptures as the claws that rend life emerges from the abyss. The massive ebony dragon titan surges forth, radiating a fierce aura of electrical power as it hurtles towards its monstrous foe.
Why are the Titans like that? Not that I'm complaining, but the Solid Stone Phoenix shouldn't fly like that.
Sentinel, I thought you said the energies were tied to our spiritual selves or something.
I don't know. Defender, any theories?
I honestly wouldn't know where to start at this point. They are mystical, magical, and technological variables that would take me days to rationalize.
So we're basically saying this is a 2 + purple = potato situation?
We're not going to risk learning how to pilot these amalgamated titans while finding two-headed versions of ourselves. Let's go straight to Kronos, and that should operate somewhat near normal.
Call upon Kronos, the Mega Titan!
In a burst of energy, the 5 elemental heroes transport into their colossal titans, ready to merge and create the ultimate titan. With precision and ease, the titans meld together, their vibrant colors blending and swirling in a stunning display. As the transformation completes, the towering mechanoid brandishes a glacial alicorn horn sword and a fiery turtle shell shield.
Thank God we were in our usual seats. I had no clue I was going to do Sentinel job.
You can play in that game.
Oh, what is that monster doing?
Defender, please tell me it's not turning into a Kronos doppelganger.
What do you want me to tell you instead?
The citizens of Dragon Cove stand frozen in shock and awe as their once unassuming skyline is now dominated by not just one, but 2 towering mega titans. Panic sets in as they struggle to comprehend the staggering spectacle unfolding before their very eyes.
We need to change tactics. This thing is matching us move for move.
Could that be that because it is us?
Can we just zap it again? That worked pretty well last time.
The amount of energy we would have to emit would short out every piece of electronics in the city. And I'm not even sure we have that much energy available.
We cannot drop an EMP downtown. The hospital's not equipped to handle that.
We need to do something.
We mix everything up, like we all are. We give this thing a storm of fire, earth, electricity, water, and wind.
Theoretically, that could work. It shouldn't be able to assimilate that much disparaging energy at once.
Didn't we form Kronos because we weren't sure our individual titans and these mixed-up elements would work? I have no idea how my Phoenix works now that it's made of stone.
Just like Johnny said, you swam him out in someone else's wetsuit. Focus on that energy, that emotion. It will be fine.
Wouldn't throwing a giant elemental Hadouken be really bad for the city?
Worse than letting a monster flatten it?
Good point.
Each of the 5 titans' heads begin to glow and pulse their individual color. Spheres of elemental energy form at each of the hands, feet, and one at the crown of the head. Blasting forth, the trailing energy steals from a prismatic star that rotates at an ever-quickening pace as it flies towards the foe Kronos.
Oh, that was so bloody fantastic! The quintet of elemental energies overwhelmed with DoppelDanger's abilities!
Should we be concerned about any fallout? That was a lot of energy we misused.
Guys?
We didn't blow up the city, so this is definitely a win-win situation.
Seriously, guys?
We might have some weird weather for a few days, but I think we're in the clear. Jay and I can run tests to confirm when we get back to the Enduring Enterprise.
Hello! You're all overlooking something very important. We're back in our own bodies!
Oh, thank God. I love you, Jay, but I don't know how you can get through life being so small.
You get used to it.
Is there another monster?
No, it's Kronos and the Titans. They're shutting down.
Oh, the resetting of our alignments to the source must be causing the control systems to crash.
They just adjusted to our altered energy signatures, and now it's doing full system reboot.
We need to teleport.
What does a full system reboot mean to you?
Is there a hatch?
We've always just teleported in and out.
Here, found it!
The quintet of armored warriors launch themselves from the plummeting mech, hurtling towards the ground like rainbow comets. They crash down with jarring force, wings flailing in a desperate attempt to regain balance. But it's too late. With a deafening roar, the colossal Mega-Titan topples backwards, a destructive avalanche crushing everything in its path. The stunned teenagers can only stare in horror as their once mighty machine lies in ruins.
Oh no!
Tubular Teens with Titans is written and produced by Velvet Fiend Rabbit Productions. Our theme song, Thunder Sword, is written and produced by Ahmad Judah and Joe Chasm, with lyrics and vocals by Keisha Wallace. If you liked what you just heard, please head over to the podcast service of your choice and leave us a rating and a review. It truly helps more people find the show. Tubular Teens with Titans features the vocal talents of
I'm Briar Zachary, and I play the Druidic Defender, J. Terra.
Ryan Tibbetts, and I played Benny Humo, the Pyre Paladin.
I'm Tim Loika, and I play Storm Sentinel, Ha-Nuel Yasao.
I'm Keisha Wallace, and I play the Hydro Hoplite, Gwen Avalon.
Sup, I'm Allegra Rodriguez Shivers, and I play the Nova Knight, also known as Scarlett Watts.
I'm Shayne Cochran, and I voice Erald.
I'm JJ Jensen, and I play Hera.
I'm Michael Waldschlager II, and I play Vahan, Guardian Prime.
I'm Noah, and I play Johnny Dakota.
Kyle Gould as Reginald Thaddeus III.
I'm Jerry Kokich, and I play the Drowned Duke.
I'm PJ Argento, and I voice
Tirich Mir.
Hi, I'm Sarah Roberts, and I play Desdemona George.